We all here take your omega-3s, eat your fish. It's great for you, great for your brain, great for your heart, great for your joints, and that is all absolutely true, my friends. But does omega-3 supplementation boost levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor? What is brain-derived neurotrophic factor? Why do we care? And what else could also boost it before even getting into the meta-analysis we're going to discuss today? Brain-derived neurotrophic factor is just what it sounds like. It's brain-derived from the brain, neurotrophic, nerve growth factor. So it promotes the growth, maintenance, survival of neurons or brain cells, helping your brain to produce more brain cells, which obviously is good for making new pathways and connections and for just enhancing cognitive function overall and brain health, right? And so what are some other things that might boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor? This BDNF, this fertilizer for your brain, if you will. Exercise would be one, and especially aerobic exercise. Intermittent fasting would be another, especially fasts lasting longer than 24 hours. And calorie restriction in itself will boost BDNF as well, but not to as great a degree as those prolonged fasts. Things like lion's mane will boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor, and cholinergics, acetylcholine producers, things that promote higher levels of acetylcholine, the learning neurotransmitter, which facilitates learning and memory and motivation and arousal and even muscle contraction. It's used relatively ubiquitously throughout the body, but things that increase acetylcholine also typically increase BDNF, at least those that cross the blood-brain barrier, like alpha-glycerol phosphorylcholine, also known as alpha-GPC, which is probably the preferred source to take, or citicoline. A common form is cognizant citicoline that people take a patented form. Across the blood-brain barrier too. That's also known as CDP choline. So a little fun background on BDNF, things that can boost BDNF. There are many others, but those are a few solid examples. And why we care about that. So this meta-analysis was done on 11 randomized control trials in a bunch of different countries on around 700 people that had things like schizophrenia, depression, ADHD. They were overweight. Some of them had heart disease, diabetes, had psychological distress, or they were completely healthy. So it tested the effects, in other words, of omega-3 supplementation on people with a lot of disorders and a lot of people that were healthy. So great, solid sample size too. At around 700, it was 698 people, I believe. So they had them take anywhere from 600 milligrams to 4,800 milligrams, which is a pretty heavy dosage, the latter, of omega-3s daily for anywhere from 8 weeks to 26 weeks. And the results showed taking omega-3s did indeed boost levels of BDNF to a statistically significant degree. And that was by 1.01 micromoles per liter, which around 1 micromole per liter is apparently a significant amount, enough to note and mark as statistically significant in increasing levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Now, this was especially true and more prevalent in the trials that had the people take it every day for at least 10 weeks. In participants who were under 50 years old, and in people who took at least 1.5 grams or 1,500 milligrams of omega-3s per day. So, those three things. Now, the age one isn't as relevant for all of us. It will still be beneficial and very well should boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor levels if taken at the proper dosage of at least 1,500 milligrams per day for around 10 weeks or more. Should be taken indefinitely for most people, in my opinion. But to boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor levels, right? And it's also, again, great for your heart and great for your joints. Now, when we talk about trials that have shown omega-3s to fail for certain purposes, whether it be cognitive function or brain health or heart health, things, they've done studies on it, with things like blood pressure and they've measured how well it can reduce joint pain and improve joint mobility and joint function and things of that nature. And anything that has failed was really designed to fail. If you look deep into it And what I mean by that is, look at who funded the study and look at how much they were taking. You know, often when you see some study failed with omega-3s, this isn't to say if you take omega-3s, it's going to cure cancer that you have or anything like that. You know, but it does have its place in health. They do have their place in health, I should say, these omega-3 fatty acids. And in these trials, they typically use a low dose. Again, something less than 2 grams. You know, that, and 3 grams is the mark for where you start to see benefits with joint health, right? So, you know, I think we should be taking about 3 grams a day, you know, most all of us, especially if we don't eat fatty fish. If you eat your fatty fish like salmon, tuna, mackerel, herring, sardines, anchovies, stuff like that's great. Things that have these omega-3s, DHA and EPA, well, you know, then you don't need to supplement with as many of them, right? But if you're somebody that really doesn't like fish or doesn't have fish often, maybe go for some omega-3s. They're great for a whole lot. And that's what we got for you guys today. So I hope you had a great day. I hope it gets even better. And let's see what we got on here. Say hello to the homies, and we're gonna go eat some fish. Actually, I have salmon cooking on low, of course, in the pan. I used avocado oil to lubricate it, and it's gonna be great. I'm very excited. It should be done pretty soon. So I gotta go spice it up before it's you know, been cooking too long here. No wasted time, right? That's the key. One of them. JC Castillo, trying to get better at that every day. Next Level Dude Fitness, Holly, what's up, girl? Allison Chang, how you doing, baby? What's up? Tin Real, GJ, Jane Doll. You're the real G.I. Jane Doll. I got it. Okay, I butchered your name first. Yeah. How you doing? Joe Alicata. What's up, man? Joe Alicata, like I played basketball with back in the day? I hope you're doing great. What's up? Paratish, Meg, what's going on? Always happy to see you on here. And Malcolm, always happy to see you, man, as well. Hot since 89, my man. Edwin Eddie Rodriguez, another OG, been on forever. Blackest Night for Not Young. And the first one of the day is Berlin Bad. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for the support. This one is for you. I hope you had an you know, question maybe about omega-3s at some point in your life, and this answered a few of them. So there you go. Happy One Wellness, guys. What up, Dustin? BK Ham, nice to see you on here again. And Bob Donnelly. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. It's all we got for you, folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great one. Thanks so much, and happy Wellness. See ya.